Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me, everyone? Am I audible to you? Is there sound? I can see Ida is nodding her head. That's really great. So I know that you guys can hear me, which is really awesome. So welcome into this week's game event where I have two special guests with me. I will make a presentation in a second, but first of all, we are so delighted to have you joining us once again for this event. Let me just see if I can get myself up on the screen also, uh, see if it works. I think I do have something with my camera that doesn't work. Let's see if we can get this to work out. 1 second. It's still new to us to have all of these special opportunities here, but do hope you can. Can you see me at all? Am I on screen? I'm not on screen. So 1 second. Let me see if I can do something about that. I can't. It doesn't look like I can. I think we need to get Mohammed in and show what is wrong with the screen. It's our technical person who can help us and make sure that we are on screen. So 1 second. Mohammed, will you please join us here? Yeah, I've done that. I've added myself to stage. There you are. Yes, we just need me. Hi there, Ida and Tor. It's great to see you. I'm super happy to have you in. We are fighting a little bit of a difficulty in getting us all in. It looks like my camera would like to show you the background and not actually my face while I speak. So we are trying to figure out how to get that to work. So one problem. I think it's the camera setting down there.
No worries. I guess you are soon to be. Can you also hear me, Ida?
You are loud and clear.
Very nice.
1 second, everyone. We'll be there in a second. I think it's the camera setting. So let's just see if we can get that to work. The camera is here. Full integrated camera. Let's see. Yeah, there we are. We can see now partially who I am, and there I am. It's super great. Now I hope I'm also able to get on stage. So hello everyone. That was just a little starting up bug here from us. I'm super sorry about that. But I think I should by having this, giving you a new jingle that we have added in for this week's event. So let us get this one. I don't know if you can hear me. Can you hear that event? Yeah, that's super awesome, right? So that's a wrong choice jingle that we have created for this event today. Okay,
So
everyone.
no pressure life.
Before moving on, there are some people that I need to thank for making it possible for us to stand here and having fun with serious games and creating games for you guys and games for the world in general. And that is, of course, all of our partners out there who is posting on LinkedIn, who is partially giving us the opportunity to doing this, because partially means that there is a lot of them. So every time they post something about Acti, we become super honored here at Acti. So thank you so much for using Acti. And then, of course, we also need to welcome Ida Bjørnsbo back on stage. Ida has been our primary marketing content event person for years at Acti, and now we have been fortunate enough to drag her back into us, and she's going to take over on these events on every week. So we look so much forward. But before I say it all, Ida, can you maybe present yourself to everybody who's listening?
Sure. I think that most of you probably have had some kind of contact with me in one way or another if you've been connected with Acti for more than a year. But as Leif said, I've been having a little break, but now I've been roped back in and I'm super excited to be back on the stage here. I'm going to be continuing being hosting these events, and I'm really excited to do that. So keep coming to the events. They're only going to become more and more fun.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have Exactly. Thank you, Ida, for that. That's one of our jingles. Tor had it also last time. Tor, also welcome to you. Tor is a great colleague of ours. He is driving the Nordic market, but maybe you want to say a few words about yourself, Tor, before I say it all again.
That's fine. I'm the boring one of us, I suppose. Yeah, responsible for Nordic markets, helping a lot of universities, consultancies, and big companies, making learning more fun and engaging. So that's all from the boring one. Over to you, fun people.
Thank you, Tor. And you know what? You also need a jingle, of course. We also need to give you this one for this. Oh, okay. Oh, that's the right choice. That was the right set. Uh,
Okay.
Tor and Ida, I didn't invite you in so it can be all fun. It's of course because you guys need to compete against each other playing the game when our audience is playing the game too. So we have something happening on screen while people are playing and testing our games out. So we are going to have a competition between the two of you, and I am going to monitor you and ask the heavy questions as we go on. To everyone, I have added into the chat the agenda for today. You are welcome to have a look at that. But before moving on into the agenda, I just really like you to just add a few words about what you have been doing just prior to coming here. What did you do the 5 minutes up to this event before the screen went black and I couldn't get on and all of that? What was your action just before that? Please write in the chat. And while you write, I'm just going to give you a little bit of insights to what we're going to do. That's a little bit of the boring part, but we are going to talk about Acti and the story behind the game. Then we are going to play the game 15 minutes above. That means in approximately 7 minutes, we're going to start the play of the game. Then we are playing for 15 minutes. Then we will go into the host view, which is where facilitators and consultants can monitor and follow profiles as people are making options within the games. And then we have a Q&A session. If there is any questions along the way, you're welcome to add them into the chat. There are people responding to them, and we will also take care of them as they come in. And I can just see that Ida was gossiping with a colleague, which is one of the things that we really enjoy here at the office. And there will be more coming in. I might return to them because there's a little bit of delay between what I say and what comes up on there. Oh, there's one. Isabella had a coffee talk, which is really, really great. But I'll comment it. It takes a few minutes. So when you write something in the chat, it might take 15, 20 seconds before it reaches us, and then we will respond to it. So, but thank you so much for joining, and that's today's agenda. Let's dig into the next couple of things I really like to say something about. The first thing is some of you might not know who we are, and there's a few slides that we need to go through. We call them the bragging slides. So I will drive fast through them so I won't be losing all of you at the same time. But straightforward, we've been here since 2010, almost 20 years. We are since 2018 only been a SaaS company. That means that we do not go out as consultants, but we come out of the consulting industry, and that's why the 20 years. We just thought that the consulting industry needs some more engaging tools, and that made us develop the game platform that you are going to be playing on in a second. And now there are 150 simulation and games on the system. There are plus 50 theories added in that are tied up to games, and we have certified above 2,500 people now around the world. And the little blue thing that you see in the button there is people within the last month who has been going to Acti. We have more than 150 countries playing Acti each year, and we find that quite amazing. So people from all over the world are getting engaged by playing games. And this is the ones that makes us floating. These are the people, the consulting firms on the left side that are using Acti towards clients on the right side. And now it's all the big ones, but that's basically just to impress you. We want you to be impressed by who we work with, and that's why we have added this bragging slide up there. But what we work with is basically big size companies, small size consulting firms who's one-man bands, and universities around the world, bigger companies like you can see here. So we have the whole palette, and we service the whole palette in a subscription model based. That's it. What they use our games for is different topics. We call them pains. That's the pains that we solve. That's maybe a good way to describe it. But we dig into different areas of organizational development on the soft skill side. We don't sell beer cans. We don't sell clothing. But what we do is that we look into how do we behave in the workspace. So if you have a cultural change that you're going through as a company, you can typically apply some of our games into it. If you're going through a diversity and inclusion process where you need your people to be upskilled, that's also something we have game for, and so on. And we cover more than 40 different topics that you can find on the system. And we're gladly to show you that at a later stage or at some other point. You're welcome just to book us in for a demo, and we will then show you what it is that we do in depth. For now, I think this is actually enough. This is just the last slide about us, but this is how our tools are usually used. You can play them by yourself, which is illustrated by the picture on the left side. You have someone with a computer or a phone playing a game from us to trying to get some more knowledge about a specific topic, becoming a new leader, thriving at the workplace, taking care of parent corporation, different types. And the one in the middle, the two pictures above each other, is a large size crowd that plays. This is more than 100 people playing in a sales environment, playing against each other. And then you monitor on screen how people are doing, and each color presenting each team. And on the right-hand side, you have a smaller group of 25 people playing in the Middle East, where they are playing a team challenge where they play against each other and competing as teams against other teams. So our things can be played in different game modes. But today we're going to be play it in a single player, or what we call the battle mode, but you make your own choices. So there won't be this much interaction amongst each other, as you could see on the previous picture, because we are online, we don't know each other, and our ways of communication is limited. But we're going to play a game which is called Carpool Now, which is made by Laura Frederiksen, who was creating it for a Danish public company called ATP, about how to carpool people within an organization. So if you want to become more green, then how could that play out if you want people to be able to come together in car instead of coming in 4 cars? How do you get people to go into the same car and join forces when they are joining work, as an initiative within the ESG area, which is also a big thing for us here at Acti. We even did what we believe is a really cool logo called Acti Now, or Swim Later. I think actually it was you who came up with that, wasn't it, Ida?
Yeah, I think it was a while back.
Yeah, but super relevant for our ESG area. So whatever we do there, we tend to stamp it with Acti Now or Swim Later. So join us on that mission. We really would like to push our industry of learning and development here. Okay, in the game, the objectives in the game is basically you're a sustainability manager, you're a change manager, and you try to implement carpooling into a company. And your role in the company is that you have to take that initiative as your own, and then you try to implement it, and you will go through different experiences in the game where you're going to meet with challenges that you need to try and solve by making options. And every time you make an option, people are reacting similar to what happens in real life. So this is a simple game. You have to learn about change. You have to inspire to do green initiatives by implementing Carpool. That's about it. And I think that's actually giving it a time to a little bit of a jingle before we move on. By the way, I have to thank Mohammed for we don't see him on screen, but Mohammed is actually the ones who creating the jingles and doing all the technology. That was the one I called when there was a glimpse in the beginning. So Mohammed, we we thank you so much for making this a little bit more lively, session. So thank you so much for all your technology skills and wanting to use them with us. All right, let's move on so we can get into the game. You see, what you do is the target group for this game is professional, it's researchers, it's basically everyone who's involved in the ESG part within a company. So it's a little bit simple. You can play it with management team, you can play it with employees teams, you can basically play it with anyone who's interested in knowing what type of problems are you potentially facing when you implement ESG initiatives within the organization. It's built, since all of our games are built on theory, this specific game is built on the ADKAR model and a book from Higher JM, which is from 2006. And whoever is working with organizational change probably have heard about the ADKAR process. In this case, we have people who's going around a circle, and depending on where they are in the circle, you need to address certain aspects of the ADKAR model to that group of people. So the more you remember how the ADKAR model works, the more you are likely to hit the higher points within the games. So it's all about knowing the model and applying the model at the right time to the right situation. That's how it works. If you are capable of doing that, Tor, Anita, you are going to win the game. And if you're not, I'm going to win the game then. So let's see how you're doing. And of course, we are also going to have a look at what people have in their audience. And please, if you have any questions, feel free to add them into the chat, and we will also monitor this. As I said before, you can play the game in different play modes. We are going to play it in the battle mode game. That means that it requires no discussions amongst us. You can simply implement your own options as you progress in the game. A game board is going to look like this when you enter the game. You have a group of people on a board. They are distributed in different positions on the board. We call this the cycle of change. It comes from Rick Mauer, and it has 24 steps. That's something we have added in. But what you need to take into consideration is that you need to try and move the blue boat there all the way around the 24 cycles and see if you can get these people on board to the boat. The more they are on the boat, the further in the process the boat is, the higher points you're going to get. So it's all about getting people inside the boat. And yes, they can jump the boat. So they're likely not to stay in the boat, even though you like them to be staying in the boat. So just to give you that notion. Let me move a little bit on here. As I said, the blue boat presenting the carpooling project that you are implementing. Your team, you can click on your team, you can see how they feel. They will give you a comment and tell you what they feel about it. So the more interested you are in them, the more likely it is that you are going to give them the right thing from the options that you choose from. Then we have resistance levels up here. That means that the more they are outside, the more they are out here, the bigger your problem is. The level 1 is, I don't get it. They just need basic more information. In the second one, they don't like it. That means that they have an emotional reaction. And the third one is a trust level. That's the heavy one. It can go towards you. It can also go towards the initiative of carpooling or anything else that might be concerning your leadership or the company that you represent. The way that you make your options is by, first we need to go into the team. You have a team of 4 colleagues. You have Adam, Giselle, Carl, and Eben, who you're going to drive through this change. They all have specific positions within the company that you can read about when you go into the game. As said before, you are the sustainability manager of the company, and now the management team have decided that 50% of the parking lots is now going to be turned into bike parking. So there won't be enough space for your car anymore. You need to make sure that people are getting in cars together or getting into electrical cars instead of coming in their own car. So there's going to be a lot of problems in the next couple of mornings when people meet in the job. And your job is to try and avoid those type of issues going forward. That's basically it. So let us then start playing. And what happens is that I'm going to, in a second, you're going to see the link in the chat. And when the link comes into the chat, you simply click on it. And when you click on the link, you are going to get into a page. Let me just show you how that looks like. So 1 second, I will just stop doing this and make sure that I can actually get into the game with you. So let me copy this, and then let me show you what happens when you click on it. If you are in doubt, it's going to look like this. I just want to see if I can still see my StreamYard. I'm still sharing. I don't think I'm doing it correctly. 1 second. I need to copy the link for the game, or maybe it's already in the chat. So in the chat, you can basically find the link that you just simply click on. And when you click on the link, it's going to take you to a login page that is going to look like this. So, and here you probably need to add the session ID, you can see, which is the second line. And it might take you directly in. I think it's because I'm already in another session somewhere else. But when I go here, and then you have to enter a name, and I'm just calling myself TH, and I proceed. And then it takes me into the game. And now I can start playing the game. And from here, there are a little bit of reading. There is a video that you can choose to see, but it all takes you through what you need to understand in order to play the game. You then press next, and this is just a description of the role. You can skip that because we already talked about it, and you can go directly into the game. This is where you get an explanation on how to play. These are your actions up on the right hand. This is a description of the board. This is a description of the boat. I already give you that, so you can skip this. And over here, you can see the points as you progress, but below, you will also be able to see everybody else who's inside the game. And you can see there's one who's already went through the game. This is your first option. So the first choice, the first thing that you need to take into considerations are, what are you going to do in order to push more employees to start carpooling? So that will be your first task that you need to solve. And you have these 5 options to choose from that are all representing one part of the ADCAR model. So you should probably choose one that you think is most relevant to that specific process of implementing carpooling. If you are interested in where is the people, you can press up here on the game board, and then you can click on people here to see how they're feeling. You can look at Adam, you can look at Carl, you can look at Giselle, and see their comment to you and see how they are on the board. And then you can return by clicking down here on game board, and you can go back to your options by continuing. That's it. And I know that Ida and Thor are now on stage. So now I am going to ask you two, how are you doing?
I answered the first question.
Yeah.
So
Can you give me a little bit of insights to what you did?
I can do that. So actually, I cheated a little bit because I'm assuming that Tor has a lot of information about this, having been here for a while now. So I actually took a screenshot of the wheel with the ADCAR model on it so that I had a little bit of help.
Okay.
And then I chose the one which gave the most awareness.
Mm-hmm. And which one was that?
I think it was option number 3. It was about putting up flyers and signs.
Mm-hmm. In order to create awareness of the impending change, you decide to set up information signs and pamphlets in the cafeteria and office kitchens. The signs and pamphlets will have information and suggestions about how to start carpooling and about how we can change and about why the change is necessary. So did you agree in that?
The battle has begun, I suppose.
The battle has begun.
Because, as mentioned, I have played it once before, but I'm going with the information meeting. That's something I would do.
Okay,
I would
okay.
invite everyone to come up with their opinions, and then it could also be a bit dangerous. But I got a plus 12 for that.
Oh, you got a 12 plus. How much did you get?
I got
Ida?
19. So
Man.
watch out, Tor.
Okay, I think we have to have this one like that. And
Was that for me, live?
No, for you, it's going to be this one. Damn, Tor. Then I would like you to get your advice on which one will be the worst choice to make, because I'm going to make the worst choice.
Try to pick number 5.
Is number 5 the worst one? Either you
I,
agree?
Yeah,
I actually don't know.
You agree?
try the fifth one.
Okay, we take the 5th one. Let's see what happens. Ah, damn. Okay, that was that you. We can for sure say that was the wrong choice. For sure, that was the wrong choice. But rewards and recognition is probably not for the time being. It have to wait a little bit before that comes. But what we can do also when we get to this part is now we get to see the results, so we get to see how people moved. And even though I got 4 points, they only moved 4 steps ahead. You can see that they now are visible on the board, and that means that I can then click on them to see how are they feeling. So are they also visible on your board? How many did you move? Also all of them, or did you see that? You don't remember because you went too far in the
No,
game. I can see
I
that on you.
continued in the game now.
Great. Okay, let's continue. We can see here on the right-hand side that we have 5 chapters, and we are finalizing chapter 1. So now we move into chapter 2, where there's a new situation. And did anyone you read the situation, because I can't remember it?
Yeah, it was about that. It's been a few weeks after that you introduced the changes,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about trying to a few. I think the case was that a few employees has now raised their opinions,
They.
so they don't see themselves participating in this.
Mm. And is that like a likely change scenario that we would face out there in the real world, or is that only purely games?
I think that everybody would love to have 50% of the parking lots removed. No, I think that's definitely something that we will see everywhere going
Yeah,
forward with the green agenda.
I think so too. I'm just thinking about you and me. We live in cities next to each other. We don't carpool. So I mean, even thinking about you coming past my house every morning and order me to get out in your car every morning would be a problem, because I enjoy taking my own time and maybe doing something else on the way. So I for sure see those type of small issues, don't you? I mean,
Yeah, for sure. And you also bike a lot of times. I have to give you
I
credit
also
for that.
I also bike, yeah, but still, I definitely understand why this is a relevant issue here, because that will be the voice for some people, right?
It is.
But
It's a freedom you will remove from people as well, right?
yeah, so we can just take that as an inspiration to how we would inspire others to carpool. Have you already made the decision?
Um, I can just start this time because I'm gonna let me be inspired of what you said and choose the number 5. Let's inspire each other.
Hmm.
So I'm going with number 5.
I have also chosen option number 5.
Of course, yeah.
Mm, of course. And we need to see what option number 5 is then, because that's of course relevant. In order to express how carpooling can impact each individual in a positive way, you decide to set up a meeting where everyone is free to join and voice their opinions. You invite employees who are already carpooling to come share their personal experiences on how it saves money, helps to expand network within the company. Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah, of course, that's a nice one. Before choosing that, is there anyone that seems obviously as the wrong choice? I think I would go with carpooling of the month. That would be my
Yeah,
like
especially
the
when none of them are doing it yet.
yeah. Oh, okay. I get it. Okay, what about an online course that we all know that works?
Maybe a game.
Yeah, maybe a game. I would do a game. No, let's take carpooling of the month. That will be my suggestion. Let's see where we are. Okay, I got 22. How much did you get? No, 18.
I think was it 40?
Yeah,
Did you get 40? Oh, that's not fair. Okay, let's see what happens here. I moved you. As you can see, I actually moved a person out here into resistance level 3 that was not already there. So now I'm having a person which is Eben is in resistance level 3 now. So she's not really into it. She says, "I don't see how carpool is going to benefit me to fit into my lifestyle. I have a life outside of work too, you know." So I didn't quite hit her
Same.
on that one. So that's a problem here. Uh, okay, so let's see what happens next. So maybe we should see the score. I'm least. I'm the one way behind, which is not that good. Let's see what happens next. And I hope everyone who's playing with us have understood that you can just play on as if you like, except for Ida and Thor, who is hanging on me all the way. They need to be part of this game session here. So let's see what the next issue is.
Just quickly, live. I'm not sure about anyone else, but I'm not seeing your results screen.
You know,
If you were planning on showing that.
can you see? You're not seeing my screen at all. Present. Let my stop screen. You can't see my screen at all.
Oh, it's only been the three of us.
All right. Let's do this one. Can you see it now?
Now it's there. Yes, perfect.
Yeah, nice. Okay, let's see. Let's see the next one. So now an issue has appeared. Have you read it? Do we need to read it out, or can you one of you?
I haven't quite read it yet.
Okay, let's read it. In protest of the new initiatives, employees have started not showing up to work because they feel like the carpooling initiative is being forced upon them. So now they have decided to work from home and simply not show up at the office. Obviously, these employee team leaders and managers are not happy and are complaining to you because they believe you and your initiatives are a fault. So that means that now we have a larger amount of people reacting towards not being able to park the car anymore. So how do we take that into consideration? What is our path? How do you listen to employees, or do you take up the fight against business management who have decided on the initiative in the first place? So are we either going to work with the problems, or are we going back to management team and say this is not going to work? That's interesting. So let's see what happens here. How are you going to deal with the consequences of the initiative have caused? Again, we have 5 options. I think the first one sounds really interesting. More emails, more info. That always seems to work, right? And then again, we have to remember that these different levels here are calling for specific approaches if you want to move people. And since I have 2 out in the outer cycle and 1 in the one just in, I should probably look for something that are working on trust, would be my guess, if I needed to move them. What are you deciding?
Well, I was really happy with my way of just following the ADGAR model. But if I did that, then I would right now want to choose the more emails, more info, because we're at the knowledge section. And I have a feeling that's not the way to go, because if people are already feeling they are being forced to carpool, I think spamming their inboxes is probably just going to be adding diesel to a fire a little bit.
Yeah.
So I actually went with number 3, the show and tell. A little bit of inspiration, hoping to inspire a change.
At this point, I've done everything I can to spread awareness of carpooling. I decided that I need to show the employees how successful previous environmental initiatives have been in the past at the company. Maybe that will make them realize that this, in fact, is a good thing. I looked up previous projects and kept them at hand to use as argument when employees shows their disagreement to me or the managers. So what did you go with?
I actually I haven't chosen anything, but I think I'm gonna go with number 1 because everybody's working from home. So actually, I think emails is a great idea. How else should I get a hold of everyone that's not interested? Also,
That's a
nice
great
one.
point.
Okay, that we need a dance for that one. Nice tour.
And I got a lot of pluses. I got +2.
Hey.
Okay, tour. It must be. Damn. I think what I would do is, it sounds critical. I think I'm going to go with mandatory meeting. I got 42.
Whoa.
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 Why did I do that?
I don't know.
I think it's a good game. I love this game. I think probably because when you have people in that type of frustration, sometimes it makes sense to actually make sure that they get the knowledge, and you can actually discuss it face to face. It doesn't really help to dig your head in the sand. So I guess that's the rationale. I didn't write this game, so I don't really know. I do have the facilitation guide with me, so I could dig into that and have a look at what the option actually says from the game developer. But fun enough. Let us see what happens. Suddenly, I'm almost in front now. Am I not? Let's have a look. All right, that was hot. That went really. Look at that. I need to give myself this one.
Yeah, you do.
Nice. Let's see how we are now. I am okay. There's one Yeehaw who is at 101. Tamara's 89. I'm on 64, but between the three of us, I'm now in front. So I think you should probably make sure that you do it together, or do a little bit bigger effort. Maybe Mohammed, we should remember to add the link in again, and if somebody comes in now and wants to join the game, so they don't need to look that much up to find the game link. All right, let's move on. We still have 2 more chapters to go before we will go into what we call the host view. So 1 second. Now it says my battery is limited. Everything goes really well today. Let's see what happens if I do like this. While you read, maybe one of you can read the your main goal of this point at this point in the change is to get the least employees who are still showing resistance to get on board the change, but at their own tempo, pace probably, as they have voices their displeasure when the initiative have been forced upon them recently. What actions are you going to take in order to get the least few employees onboarded? Okay. So we're getting to the end here. Let's have a look. What will be the best way to get the leggings to join the carpooling initiatives at the company? Well, you think I can say to everyone who's joining us a little bit late that we are in the middle of playing a game about carpooling on green initiatives, and we have 2 more options to make before the game is ending, and we are going into the host view to have a look at the facilitation tools that we have at the system. But I have my 2 colleagues, Tor and Ida, here playing against each other and a little bit against me. I'm like the judge and can tease them and give them great sounds, or bad, you did it wrong, like this one. Or, of course, this one. Yeah. All right, let me hear your ideas.
I think actually this is a tough one.
Yeah, it is.
I think I would probably want to go with more time. Like give the last few in resistance a little bit more time to adjust. I don't think it's necessarily the best choice, but that is my choice.
Which
I
one
think
is
it's
that?
It's number 5.
Number 5, yeah, more time.
I think it's very easy life. Try to play the disco jingle, then you have my answer actually.
Okay, I'll give you that one.
It's party time. No, actually, I think it's very interesting that everybody has shown interest and have been in the program so far and been taking part of the idea, we have to celebrate and recognize all the employees that actually have been doing the plan. So I will go with party time.
Party time. All right, that's interesting. I think I will go with approaching deadline. So let's see. Okay, let's click and see what happens.
47.
I only got 7. Damn.
I got
Party
40.
time.
So how's the score now? We have okay. Let's go on. Let's go and see the results here. I didn't move that many people here. So Ida, you are on 91, and Tor, you are down to 89 now. Oh,
Up 89.
up to 89. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm going to. What about this little feature that you actually see how things are moving and you get the result text with theoretic feedback? How does that work for you? Is that an interesting thing or?
Yeah, I guess it is because right now we're joking, having fun by playing it, but you can actually relate to other projects. These options are quite difficult, so normally I would go back to see if I could have chosen something else instead of the one I actually did choose. Did I choose it just for the fun of it right now? But I think there's a lot of reflections by going back and trying to talking about other issues at work that we are trying to implement, and people are not on board. Some people are on board. What do we actually do in that matter? So I think it's very interesting.
Yeah. I also think it's very cool that there are strong references to where it comes from and what type of the area, what type of the theory are you actually using, because that can be helpful if you're disagreeing or if you're agreeing when playing the game. So I really love that. So kudos to Laura for being that straight in her approach with the theory. Okay, let's have a look at the last one. One last effort. So now we're getting to the end. This is now, if you wanna win, Tor, I think it's time that you up your game and do the right thing here.
I just
So
partied.
now. So now your main task is to keep people involved and excited about carpooling while still trying to get a few more people to join the movement. So we are now looking for the ones that are super late or just purchased a car. How are you going to keep the carpooler spirit high while also trying to keep spreading the word about the joys and benefits of carpooling? Let's go and see how we're going to do that.
Can I be honest, life?
Yeah,
I'm not going to choose anyone because I think I threw such a great party that everybody wants to be
you're done.
at. Yeah, I think everybody would just have sold their cars now.
I totally get it. There on bicycling. I
Yes,
totally get it. Yeah. I see that. I see that, and I agree. A party is enough.
but okay.
Let's have a look.
Let's show
Yeah. I would look for something going into the future also, right?
yeah, to make
Pay
it.
raise for carpoolers, help and inspiration. I should go and have a look. Is there anyone? I still struggle with one of the persons out here. Even she's been out there all the way through my game. Is she also all the way out in yours?
She
Because
just
I think.
moved in a little bit actually.
Oh, okay.
She's on I don't like it now.
I've been having her here all the time, so I'm in doubt what's how to handle her.
But I also just moved Carl out, so I don't like it. So
Oh, okay. So you have 2 out now.
yeah.
In level 3?
No, in level 2, and I don't like it.
Oh,
So
okay,
not in
okay,
I
okay.
don't trust you. So middle level.
All right, all right. What about you, Tor? Do you also struggle with Eben?
Yeah, but not as much as you do. So I
We
can
have a different relationship.
throw a
Yeah,
party.
yeah, exactly.
uh,
Okay, let's. What are you going to go with?
I chose option 2.
Yeah.
can I hear how
Pay
many
rate.
points you got before I choose, Ida?
Sure.
No, you don't. Cheater. Oh, that was unfair.
Yeah,
Are you awake, live?
I am.
it's This is tough. I think it's a very
Mm.
tough one.
But I like that one. Pay raise for carpoolers. I like that one, right? If you follow the new style, if you go with the culture, you of course should be. It's a little bit like traditional change management tools, right?
Mm.
If you are going with it, you should be awarded for it. That's the was that your idea, Ida?
Yeah, so still trying to learn a little bit about the ADCAR model. So the last level or the last letter R is for reinforcement. So I was
Okay,
thinking we need to provide our people with something for this change that is not just inspiration or that they're doing something good for their environment or a shoulder pad. Like they need something for actually following through.
nice. Yeah, that's a good. I also like that one. So what are you on?
I have tried to play without the AdCar model, and I'm actually going with number three. Let's show everyone. I mean, that's
Hmm.
the purpose, what we can show the world that we have done. I'm not sure if it's the right one, but I would love it to be that we
Yeah,
actually made a difference within the environment.
I will go with number 5 here. So let's see what happens. I got only 10. Ah,
I
and
got
I just,
a bit less than that,
oh, you
around
did?
10 less. Yeah, I got
You
a
got
huge
0?
zero. Yeah, I actually did. But we have had a great party.
You had a great party.
Yes.
And this is nice. Good. Yeah. Very great. Super, super. All right, so this is now we're done with the game. Let's move into the profile section and just briefly touch on that. We have 5 minutes left, so I still have a few things. So first, we need to rate the game. I think it's fabulous. Good game, Laura. But even though I only got 81 percentage, I think it was a good game. I think it gave some insights into how you could do it. But let me just explain what happens here. Here you get in, we measure against everybody in this session. That means all of the people who's been playing within the session link that we send into the chat. But we can also choose to measure ourselves against everybody else who played the game. And I still count on 81% apparently. So that's where I am. If we then go down, we can then see the different areas of the ADCAR model. We can see the first one is desire. Then we have reinforcement, awareness, and knowledge as the 3 bars down here. And those can be then I can see my own is the ones that are highlighted here with the most color in, and I have apparently only been taking reinforcement choices and awareness choices and a little bit of knowledge. I have not taken any ability choices and desire choices at all, and that's comparison. So you can see this is only me. I've only taken these 3 choices, and if I compare, I can then see what everybody else has taken. So I have not been able to use all 5 areas of the ADCA model while I was making my game. How does your profile look? Were you able to take all 5?
I don't have knowledge. Apparently, that's
Okay.
not necessary when I do changes.
Okay, yeah, exactly. But let me show you something because here you can actually see here you can read something about the ADCA model, and down here you can see each of the elements. So you can dig down to desire, which I have not taken any of, and then I can see what is desire, what's the positive and negative things about desire, and then I can see what I have done, and I didn't take any desire choices, and then I can see what did other session players take of desire. So I can see I'm behind on that one. I didn't take it at all. So and others took it around 20% of their options within the game, and that I can do with all the 5 elements. And depending on game and depending on theory, you can do that on any of the games. But I also really like to show you something else because I like to show you. Let me just go over here and go to my environment where I created. Um, where I created the session. So now I'm logging into my subscription, and I can then find the session that I'm into here. Here, if I just go to the main page, this is my main page. This is my usage, and down here I can see the game event session. Every time I make a decision, I can just directly go to them here. And when I go to the game session, I can follow who's been in. I can see the games that I've added in, and now I've only added in one game. But if I go to host you, I will then be able to monitor people as they are playing. So this tool allows me to go and see how did it look in chapter 2 when people were making their options. And each of these over here are people who's part of the session. I can then choose to click people on and off, allowing me to see how they made their options as we progressed in the game. So that's a facilitation tool. And here now I asked you, Ida, what your profile looks like, but I can actually go over to the profile and then I can choose to find you, and I can find myself, or I can find Tor, and then we can see how did you two play the game. And you played exactly the same way. So you have the same options chosen, not the same options, but you have been distributing your choice on the model in the same way. I can also choose again to go down and have a look at employees and see, and now I'm looking at everybody who played the game on employee level, and I can then measure the profile against employee level here. So as a facilitator, I have access to monitor, not a monitor, but to open up reflections with a group of people to talk about. So what does it mean if, and now this is my option, what does it mean if I have been only taking reinforcement choices, awareness, and knowledge choices to a very little extent? What does that mean in a real change scenario? What would you think, Tor, is the limitations of this?
If first of all, I started by logging in with my another account that's called Torhust, as you pulled it up. But the one I've been playing with is Tor number one. Obviously, I'm not Tor number one. I should have taken another,
Mm,
uh, just so you can see that I have actually created a lot of desire. Um,
yeah.
so people really want to do a change, but I have not been very good at facilitating the process or creating the knowledge that they should need. So I actually found it very interesting that s- all of my answers are so within the desire area when you talk ADCAR. And I would,
Mhm.
after this, actually go in and try to read about ability. What does that mean? What does knowledge mean?
Mm.
Because yeah, I thought I had the best answers.
Of course, you had to. I totally agree. I will give. Actually, wasn't it Ida who got highest points?
It was.
I don't
So
remember.
I think I will give Ida this one. Nice. Good one. But what I want you to get away with from the host is that you can actually see the theories as they are created, and you can also here monitor when people are playing. You can open up discussions from this. What does it mean when you have situations that are differ when people make the same options and so or same choices and so on, choose from the same choices. And if you here, we also have access to a resource library. So when you are facilitating these games, you can actually access the facilitation guide directly from here. That allows the facilitator to see a little bit about the theory, see a little bit about the structure of the game, see how each of the options are moving people, and so on. So the facilitation guide is meant for people to, or meant to help people who wants to use games with a group of people within their company. We are getting into the end of the session. We only have a few more minutes to go before we have to close in. Is there anything we need to touch on, except for the fact that if somebody is interested in knowing more, you are, of course, more than welcome to drop us a line or go into acti.com and book us in for a meeting and let us know more. But to Anita, have I forgotten anything? Is there anything I need to add?
I don't think so. Think this game is very genetic in that case that you can actually play this game and try to drag some parallels to your real work or other issues where you have half of your employees with you and the other one is actually not. And I'm actually quite um, surprised by my answers when you're talking about the AdCom model. I know I'm good at creating desire, but it should also going into something changeable.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
you're surprised by the theory, and your answers they didn't correspond in the way that you thought they would, or.
Exactly. They really didn't. So, I, do you see that other people will then play again? Can you play it on your own afterwards, or?
Yeah, well, you can if you, when you are in this part of the profile as a player, you can go to play again here by clicking here. You can go to game history here, or you can go back to the session. So if the facilitator has added more than one game in that they would like you to play, you can go directly back to the session and play the next game, or download the file, or see the video that the facilitator has added in. So you can use it also in that sense. And you can play as many times as players you like on your own PC.
Okay.
Cool. And maybe it's
Yeah.
also worth to mention live that the stakeholders were based on the different disk profiles. So that if you were wondering why some stakeholders agreed and others didn't, that is because there's a little bit of a variation in the people or the employees that you then have in your company. Whereas it would have been nice if there were no EBMs, but only the people who were positive, because then everybody would have been in the boat the whole time and following the cycle very nicely, doing exactly what I wanted them to. But that is probably not what it would look like out in the real world.
Good point, Ida. Yeah. So basically, the reason why Ida or Eben was unsatisfied is that he has a specific personality type and reacts specifically to certain things. Is that the idea, maybe? Yeah, I think
Exactly.
so too. All right. I don't see anything coming up in the chat, so we're going to leave the chat. And since there is no questions, we won't go into that. But let's maybe wrap it up about the games. I just like to say that there is a lot of games on the platform that you can use for different situations, and this is just for carpooling. But even in the ESG area, we have like a ton of games for ESG. When you are in here, you can segment the games in specific ways. This is all of our ESG games in the same area. Which is targeting specific or different scenario situations in a company. This is the carpooling we just played. Here is one about transiting a kitchen to becoming more green. This is about saving energy within the corporate space. There is some about D&I. There is something about a change in the market. There is something. This is a project management game. So ESG is a hot topic with us. And then, despite ESG, you can of course also search for a lot of other topics that we have here amongst the games. I guess that's it. Let's be in touch, everyone. Let's hopefully you will reach out to us. And we will give you the jazz hands before we put on the outro. So take care. Nice meeting you all. Have a great day. Enjoy. Let's see. And if you want, go to the chat. That will be our link will be in the chat in a second to our homepage. Go there and contact us if you have any questions or if you like to know more. Now I'm going to do the outro. Take care, everyone.